Imagine waking up to find your entire town swallowed by water. Streets turned into rivers, homes into islands, and entire families washed away in the blink of an eye. While history remembers disasters like Hurricane Katrina or the 2004 Indian Ocean tsunami, there are other floods, just as deadly, just as devastating, that the world seems to have forgotten. Today, we uncover 10 deadly floods you probably haven't heard about, each one a reminder of nature's unstoppable force. One, 2010 Pakistan floods. In 2010, relentless monsoon rains drowned 1/5 of Pakistan. Imagine, 20 million people displaced, villages gone, bridges snapped, and fertile lands destroyed. Nearly 2,000 lives were lost, but the true tragedy was the long-term suffering: hunger, disease, and shattered livelihoods. It wasn't just a flood. It was a humanitarian crisis the world overlooked. Two, 2004. Haiti floods. Haiti, already fragile and struggling, was hit by torrential rains in 2004. In just days, walls of water swept across towns, killing more than 2,000 people. Families were buried in mudslides, entire neighborhoods erased. Unlike other disasters, this one barely made headlines, leaving survivors to pick up the pieces in silence. Three, 1999. Venezuela floods. December 1999. Venezuela's Vargas state. Days of heavy rain unleashed floods and landslides that tore down mountainsides. Tens of thousands perished. Entire towns simply vanished under mud and debris. Survivors described it as the earth itself collapsing on them. This tragedy is often called Venezuela's silent apocalypse. Four, 1998. China floods. The mighty Yangtze River, one of Asia's greatest lifelines, turned deadly in 1998. Overflowing with historic force, it swallowed cities, destroyed crops, and killed over 3,000 people. Nearly 15 million were left homeless. Soldiers and civilians fought side by side, stacking sandbags to hold back the water. But nothing could stop its fury. Five, 1988 Bangladesh floods. 4 unquaks to 445. Bangladesh, a nation built on rivers, has always battled floods. But in 1988, the country faced one of the worst in living memory. Monsoon rains submerged 2/3 of the land. Thousands died, and millions lost everything. Fields of rice, their only food source, were washed away, leaving starvation in the flood's wake. 6. 1970 Peru floods. Peru is known for its towering Andes, but in 1970, torrential rains turned rivers into monsters. Floods destroyed villages and killed thousands. Bridges collapsed, mountain roads vanished, and communities were cut off for weeks. For Peru, it was a tragedy hidden behind the shadows of other global events that year. 7. 1966. Florence floods. Italy. Not all floods are remembered for lives lost. In Florence, Italy, 1966, the Arno River overflowed, drowning the city in 6 meters of water. Priceless art, historic libraries, and ancient churches were destroyed. While fewer lives were lost, the cultural damage was enormous. Irreplaceable masterpieces vanished forever. 8. 1931. Yangtze and Huai Rivers. China. In 1931, China faced one of the deadliest floods in recorded history. Torrential rains, combined with overflowing Yangtze and Huai rivers, swallowed entire provinces. Major cities like Wuhan and Nanjing were turned into vast lakes, with streets vanishing underwater. Millions were displaced, crops destroyed, and famine spread rapidly. Disease followed, claiming even more lives than the waters themselves. Estimates say up to 4 million people perished. The 1931 China flood was not just a natural disaster. It was a human tragedy on an unimaginable scale. 9. 1927. Mississippi River. In 1927, the Mississippi River burst its levees, unleashing one of America's worst floods. Over 27,000 square miles went underwater, destroying towns and farmland. Hundreds of thousands, mostly poor African-American sharecroppers, were left homeless, stranded on rooftops, and starving. The disaster exposed deep racial and class divides, turning a natural tragedy into a political storm that changed U.S. history forever. 10. 1913. Great Dayton Flood. In March 1913, relentless storms caused the Great Miami River to overflow, unleashing the Great Dayton Flood in Ohio. Levees collapsed, and within hours, downtown Dayton was under 20 feet of water. Whole neighborhoods vanished, fires raged in the flooded city, and over 360 people died. Tens of thousands were left homeless, wading through icy waters with nowhere to go. The disaster was so devastating, it led to one of the first large-scale flood control systems in the United States. Sometimes, tragedy forces nations to act. Floods are not just water rising over land. They are tragedies that strip away everything people hold dear. Homes vanish, families are torn apart, and entire communities are erased as if they never existed. From the villages of Pakistan to the valleys of Venezuela, from the farmlands of Bangladesh to the streets of Florence, these forgotten floods remind us that nature's fury does not discriminate. But the greatest tragedy is not only the loss itself, it's the way the world forgets. For survivors, the pain lives on every single day. The water may recede, but the grief remains. These floods are not just events in history books. They are warnings. Proof that human life can be changed forever in a single night of rain. That is why we tell these stories, to honor those who suffered, and to learn from the past before it repeats itself. If this video opened your eyes, don't let it stop here. Subscribe to the channel, turn on the bell icon, and share this video, because remembering these disasters is the first step in preventing the next one.